How's it going, everybody? ChaoticMeatball here, and welcome back to the channel. So today, we're doing a bit of a race against the clock, GROUDON vs Kyogre in Pokemon Emerald. These are two separate runs. The one you're watching here is of GROUDON. Kyogre is going to be the one that I'm posting on our collaborative channel, Beast Coast Pokemon, and I'd recommend watching that one first, seeing as I recorded the Kyogre run first, and you'll probably have a better context for this one with that video being watched. So make sure to head over there and subscribe while you're at it. I'll post the occasional exclusive challenge video over there. In fact, I have a Pokemon Moon Nuzlocke over there already, but it's mostly focused on collaborative content with myself, Aaron Cybertron Zhang, James Beck, and Celio's Network. My goal for the channel is to hit 25,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if we do, I'll be giving away 35 old-school holo Pokemon cards from Generations 1 and 2, pictured here, over on Twitter. Link to both the channel and my Twitter in the description. With all that said, GROUDON is a mammoth of a monster, sporting a base stat total of 670, mostly geared towards the physical side of things, with a base 150 attack and base 140 defense, matched with 100 HP and special attack, as well as 90 special defense and speed. Our level up moveset is pretty great too, starting out with Mudshot and Scary Face, getting Ancient Power, Slash, Bulk Up, and Earthquake from level up on the physical side, as well as Iron Tail, Return, Brick Break, and Aerial Ace by TM. Though I can't disregard GROUDON's ability to hit for some good special damage as well, primarily with Solar Beam, as GROUDON naturally gets the ability at Drought, setting up Sun to boost the power of Fire-type moves, and while we're not going to take advantage of this that much throughout the run, it makes Solar Beam a one-turn attack rather than two, giving us a 120 base power special move to take out pesky water types that plague the Hoenn region. Just a quick refresher on my Hardcore Nuzlocke rules. Number 1, if a Pokemon would be knocked out, it's considered dead, and in a solo run like this, requires a reset at the beginning of the game. Number 2, I must nickname my Pokemon. Number 3, I can't use items in battle, but held items and Pokeballs for HM users are allowed. And lastly, number 4, I've got to play on set mode. Though I suppose that one doesn't matter much since I'm only allowed to use one Pokemon anyway. Speaking of that, double battles will force a second Pokemon in. In this case, it's usually an HM dingus like Zigzagoon, and will have a non-attacking move to spam in order to not affect the battle as much as possible. Be sure to subscribe, throw a like on the video, and leave a prediction down in the comments below, whether or not you think Kyogre or GROUDON will win the race. Then again, I don't know if you're getting to this point in the video without watching Kyogre, and how much time in-game this run will take. Let's jump in. So I replaced Torchic with GROUDON so that May will have Mudkip. Not that it matters though, since I start out with Mudshot, shooting that Mudkip down with 2 attacks. Now, something I figured I'd need to do with GROUDON was EV Train for both attack and speed ASAP, and Route 103 is perfect for this. Zigzagoon and Wingull give speed EVs, and Poochyena gives attack. Sadly though, GROUDON doesn't get an attack to hit flying types until level 15, which is the level cap for this area with Ancient Power, so I've got to run away from them for now. I'm going to be dodging as many trainers as possible this run, so I just did as much as I could here, getting to level 14 before progressing through, taking out the 2 required trainers on the way with 1 Poochyena apiece before getting to Rustboro Gym. I mudshotted the heck out of Roxanne's 2 Geodudes and Nosepass here. Very easy gym badge to obtain, since we had a super effective move. Not as easy as a Water Pulse from Kyogre, but it got the job done. After handling the Team Aqua thing up on Route 116, I make sure to use Cut to gain access to the Miracle Seed in the Petalburg Woods, as that'll come in handy for Solar Beam later on, then went back to Route 103 to continue my EV training. Brawly has 0 required trainers before fighting him, and his level cap is 19, so why not take the time to level up to his cap and finish off as many EVs as possible, taking just a hair over 3 hours of in-game time to get to Brawly. Mudshot ends up being a one-shot on both Machop and Meditite, though the fact that it's not on Makihita is a bit frustrating. I would have thought that the EVs would have done enough by this point, but apparently they have not. He hits a Vital Throw for minimal damage, recovering a bit with a Citrus Berry before falling to a second Mudshot winning the fight. Sorry bud, even that powerful berry at this point in the game is not enough to save you. I got the TM for Bulk Up here, so instead of waiting until level 30 to learn it naturally, I said screw it, I'm going to use it now, and I grabbed the EXP share before heading back to Route 103 for one final grind. I'm very close to maxing out my EVs, so why not? May as well push to the limit. At least everything else from here should be at lightning speed, since we don't have to worry about it that much. The May fight on Route 110 is next, and she's honestly not bad. Lombre at the start and 4 bulk ups is enough for me to just sweep with Slash, taking it out along with Marshtomp, then Ancient Power on Slugma, since I don't know what ability it had, and I don't want to find out since I don't have a burn heal. A few more required trainers later, and we're into the Mauville City Gym, and I'm sure you can expect where this ended up going. Ground type against an electric gym? I don't even think I have to spell it out any more than that. Voltorb, Electrike, Magneton, and Manectric all fall to a single Mudshot apiece, rewarding me with the... Oh, come on. It was super effective. You can't be doing the same thing as a Makihita. Oh well, even with the Citrus Berry, the second Mudshot KOs Manectric, which does end up winning me the fight. I don't know if that was a range, or if that was just because of not enough levels to make the EVs matter much yet, but man, that's very disheartening. Oh, yeah, I guess having a modest nature really doesn't help much either. Seriously, who decided to give me that and I don't realize it until post-Gym 3? Tells you all how much I actually prioritize the small details like that. Anyway, it's a quick stealth mission through routes 112, 113, Falarbor Town, and 114, not forgetting the Person Berries before getting into Meteor Falls, chasing off Team Magma and sending them packing to Mount Chimney for a fight against Maxie. This fight was an unmitigated disaster, though. Mightyena has both Growl and Sand Attack, using one of each on me, then taking out 3/4 of my HP thanks to having a Super Potion in the back before eventually I take it down with a myriad of Mudshots and Slashes, since I have to mitigate the 5% accuracy difference that Mudshot has compared to Slash. Second out is Zubat, and fortunately for me, I outspeed and KO with Ancient Power, leaving just Camerupt, who goes down to a critical Mudshot after I outspeed. Not sure if I needed that, but I'm sure a sun-boosted fire move, even just Ember, would have put Groudon in the mud, so I'm happy enough to have dodged that bullet. Next up is Flannery's gym, and she's not really a difficulty, though the sun does inherently help her whole team out, especially when Overheat hits my special side, which is the weaker of the two. 2 bulk ups is enough to sweep the whole team though, so I just take 2 of Numel's magnitudes, taking them all out with 1 Mudshot apiece to win. Alright, well, back down to Petalburg we go to take on the normal gym. I feel like 2 levels below the level cap is not the best position, but I also figured I'd check on my EVs since they're not completely maxed out to see what I was missing before the fight. And sure enough, I have a few spots available, so I went in to finish off as much speed as I could on Route 103, leveling up to level 30 and topping them off before challenging Norman, of course with a held Person Berry. Bulk up is an easy setup for 2 turns before Spinda lands Teeter Dance, so it's time to go in for attacks. KOing Spinda with a Mudshot as Vigoroth comes in second, but I miss, so I take a Feint Attack, but it doesn't do that much. I land a KO next turn with Mudshot, leading to Linoon. I'm able to also take that down with Mudshot, leaving just Slacking, and I figured my increased defense will mitigate the sheer power of Slacking, depending on whether or not it goes for an attack, but by going for Slash, I also play around counter, since it's not enough damage for me to get KO'd by his own counter unless I crit, which I didn't really take into account. But this didn't end up mattering as he goes for Feint Attack, sealing his doom as I hit 2 Mudshots through his Truant turn and Citrus Berry to KO and win the fight. Well, that could have gone poorly if I didn't get lucky, though I suppose I could have used Bulk Up instead of Slash to just prevent the chance of a critical for counter to KO me. I'm sure +6 attack and +6 defense would have mitigated both that and the damage racked up from being asleep thanks to Yawn, but I digress. With your dad in a deep depression from losing for the first time in a play fight since you were a child left to contemplate where the years went, I'm off to go destroy more people's lives with a big bungus. That feels depressing, but what's even more depressing is that I don't get Earthquake until level 35. Not that it matters since I've got a flying gym leader coming up, but that doesn't mean I'm not happy about it. Beforehand, though, I make sure to kick the bums of Team Aqua out of the Weather Institute, getting a completely useless cast form, even the held item this go-around isn't useful, heading east towards the penultimate battle against May. Lombre's out first using Fake Out and hitting Swift as I use Slash, but it only brings her into the red. So I make sure to go for a few bulk ups to mitigate this problem throughout the rest of the fight, KOing with Slash as Slugma comes in second. Mudshot ends the Sentient Lava's existence, and does the same to the Freaky Fish guy to win me the fight. Only in Pokemon can you have a living lily pad, sentient lava, and a Freaky Fish guy show up within a minute of each other. Once I've got the Devon Scope in hand, though, I make sure to give Groudon a held Lepaberry, since I'm going to be using the heck out of Ancient Power in this gym, and it only has 5 power points. The first trainer reminds me of how much Skarmory's a brick wall, though. Thankfully, no more major trainers have that in the game past this gym, though. Winona's not all that bad, despite her massive team of 5 Pokemon for this point of the game, and leading off is Swablu. This guy has Perish Song, so no setup for me, I'm going straight for Ancient Power, which I get the Omni boost off of it. Well shoot, that makes my life even easier. One bulk up on Tropius later, and Ancient Power one-shots both it and Pelipper before the dreaded Skarmory takes the field. With +2 attack though, 2 Ancient Powers is enough to KO, leaving just Altaria to fall to one of them, winning me the fight in the TM for Aerial Ace. Well, hopefully that one will come in handy. Maybe. Hopefully. I have no idea. I don't even think this TM is useful for this point in the game. Boy, there sure is a whole lot of nothing going on between this and the next gym. No wonder the level cap goes up a whole 9 levels. To spice things up though, I went to Lily Cove before Mount Pyre to make it a flyable location, taking out Team Aqua at the ladder, then flying back to fight May immediately, though that didn't help much in the terms of challenge. Her Tropius was a bit of a dunce, using 3 Sweet Scents as I used 3 bulk ups, KOing it with Ancient Power, Ludicolo with Slash, Slugma with Ancient Power, and Marshtomp with Slash, giving me yet another win. See you later, bud. Get out of my way of the shopping mall. Not that I need anything in there, I just wanted to get you to move. The Magma hideout in the Jagged Pass doesn't provide much of a challenge either. Tabitha's a cakewalk, and Maxie isn't too much different, though we have to punish the latter for attempting to awaken the legendary Sus Imposter. Maxie leads off with Mightyena, so Intimidate's a factor here, but I've got Earthquake at this point, and it does over half damage. 3-shotting after a Scary Face, Super Potion, and Swagger that re-increases my attack, but has the negative effects negated by a Person Berry. Second is Crobat, getting taken out by Ancient Power after a light wing attack, leaving just Camerupt to get outsped despite being -2 and destroyed by an Earthquake. I guess good luck with whatever else you plan on doing with your crewmates. The Team Aqua base is just as easy, but instead of Archie at the end of it, it's just a mattress. Oh, you said Matt in a stupid dress. I mean, yeah, the Team Aqua outfit is stupid, but I don't think it's necessarily a dress. Oh, whatever. I stomped him into the floor, where the doormat is. I'm sorry, I can't help these puns. I'm ready to go over to Mauville City, though, once he's done, and challenge the 7th gym. I forgot to grab Solar Beam, though, so I went to the Safari Zone for the TM, realized I needed the Pokéblock case, went back to Lily Cove to grab it out of the contest hall, then went back into the Safari Zone again to grab the TM for realsies, finally getting back to Moss Deep and challenging Tate and Liza. I knew this was going to be the hardest fight in the run, seeing as I don't have a multi-targeting move. Well, I do, but all 4 of their Pokemon can't be hit by Earthquake, since all but Xatu have Levitate and Xatu's a flying type, so here we go. They start with Xatu and Claydol, so I go with Solar Beam on Claydol for around 75% damage as Linoon gets destroyed, then Pelipper comes in and avoids Claydol's Earthquake. Whoops, should have put that one away. Oh well, a second Solar Beam finishes off the Claydol, as I just use Protect with Pelipper since it's the only non-attacking move I have, blocking a Psychic from Xatu, then getting KO'd as I one-shot Soul Rock with Solar Beam next turn. Alright, finally. Groudon's the only thing on the field as Lunatone comes out, which I Solar Beam and bring down into the red, seeing a Calm Mind come out from both it and Xatu. A Citrus Berry heals Lunatone out of Hyper Potion range, so the Calm Mind doesn't matter, KOing with Solar Beam and leading to the one-on-one. Sadly though, last turn after I hit Solar Beam, Xatu hit Confuse Ray, but not like it matters, I still hit through with both shots of Slash, each for half damage, KOing and winning the fight. Yeah, I admit that was lucky, and yeah, I probably should have replaced Slash instead of Ancient Power with Solar Beam, but hey, we came out on top, so I couldn't give less of a yes, it's time for the Pre-Badge 8 Storyline Railroad Ball Grabbing section. Fortunately, there's a few fights here that are at least interesting, starting with a double battle with myself and Steven against Maxie and Tabitha in the Moss Deep Space Station. They start off with Camerupt and Mightyena, so I go for Bulk Up, getting the +1 to negate Mightyena's Intimidate, getting it with a Scary Face from Mightyena as Camerupt just goes for Amnesia. So I went for Earthquake next turn, expecting the Swagger from Mightyena, and that's what I get, but not on Groudon, instead on Metang. I was fully prepared for it with a Person Berry, but unfortunately that means I can't one-shot the Mightyena, leaving it with a Sliver as I KO Camerupt. Next out is another Mightyena, so another Intimidate means I need Bulk Up number 2, seeing Taunt come down as I use Earthquake next turn to KO the Mightyena on the right, Aggron, and then the Mightyena on the left, leading to Golbat and Camerupt number 2. Golbat is a one-shot with a critical hit slash, leaving it to be a 2-on-1 scenario since Tabitha's Pokemon are all gone, though there's not much max he can do. Camerup's Toxic poisoned thanks to Steven's Skarmory, and a slash takes him down to minuscule health, KOing between turns as Crobat comes out last. Skarmory continues to be useless and go for Protect, but I keep slashing away on Crobat. Though Skarmory has to get the last laugh, using Aerial Ace to KO Crobat on the final turn. Well, I mean, at least it did something useful, and that I'm glad that he had his Skarmory in the first place. Earthquake was definitely my best move there, and KOing most of his team with it was kind of a handicap in and of itself. Also, it got me thinking about why Metang doesn't have Levitate, but I digress. With Dive in hand, I go back to Oldale Town and Route 103 for the last time, not for EV training, but to capture a Tentacool so that I can use the last 2 HMs of the game. This gets me into the door of the Seafloor Cavern, in which I have to fight 0 Team Aqua Grunts, so I just stealth my way, fumbling through the surf puzzle because I'm an idiot, before getting to a TM for Earthquake and Archie himself. This fight went rather well. I got off 2 bulk ups in the face of his Mightyena, he used Scary Face and Takedown, then I went for Earthquake on the exact turn he went for Swagger, getting another +2 to my attack for a +3 total after Intimidate, KOing with Earthquake after negating the confusion with the Person Berry. Second out is Crobat, an easy one-shot with Slash after taking a bite, leaving just Sharpedo. And it actually goes straight for Swagger, which is pretty scary at +6, but I'm able to just hit through it, KOing with Solar Beam to win the fight. I figured I'd change it up at the end there. You were expecting Earthquake, but instead it was me, Dio! I mean, Solar Beam. Yeah, that's it. Alright, I know that was a stretch for a joke, but I'm trying not to reuse material from the Kyogre video, and it's becoming very difficult. I'm already doing some of it with Sus Imposter. Anyway, with that, I can do the whole Sky Pillar thing, awaken Rayquaza to scare off the freaky fish monster and the Sus Imposter, opening up the last gym and giving me access to the HM for Waterfall, but we have to take out Juan in order to use it outside of battle. After taking out his gym trainers to get to the level cap, I actually went back to Mauville City in the game corner to grab the TM for Flamethrower. I want this coming up, but not for this fight in specific. I want it for the Victory Road and the League and said screw it, I'm gonna grab it now. The battle with Juan himself is actually rather easy, but I don't have any more Person Berries, even though I really would like one for Love Disc, but it doesn't matter as I just outspeed and KO with Solar Beam. Ah, now I understand why this outsped Kyogre. It has Swift Swim. Neat. Solar Beam also proceeds to KO Whiscash, Celio, and Groudon in rapid succession, leaving just Kingdra, in which it does less than half. He uses Double Team, but I don't care. I still have a pretty solid amount of accuracy, hitting a second Solar Beam as he uses Rest to heal, then a Chesto Berry to wake up. Solid strats, but Solar Beams are still pounding down. A third one hits, but Ice Beam does over half from him, so I say, alright, enough fooling around, shift over to Earthquake to win, and there we go. What, you thought I was gonna lose because I kept clicking Solar Beam? Please, I'm not an idiot, I'm just a dumbass. Alright, so all we've got is the Wally Fight in the League to go, so let's just jump into them in rapid succession. Wally's got a solid team of 5, with a lead Altaria being one of the most difficult Pokemon for me to hit here, seeing as it resists Flamethrower, double resists Solar Beam, and is completely immune to Earthquake. So I'm basically sitting here spamming Flamethrower for 7 turns and barely taking any damage. I burn on the first one, then he goes ahead and uses Safeguard, but it's already burned, so it doesn't matter, and the damage just keeps racking up. He tries healing, but eventually it goes down. From here, I just can seal up the fight. Flamethrower on Roselia, Earthquake on Delcatty, Flamethrower on Magneton, and Earthquake on Gardevoir seals the deal. Alright. Before the League, though, I make sure to grab an extra copy of Flamethrower from the game corner just in case if I need it. Not sure if something's not firing in my brain, so it's always good to have extra stuff. And then I tried to get Return, but it was blocked off by some trainers. Yeah, I could have fought them, but I had already done my level cap edging by this point, so I was kind of screwed. I'm left with Facade, so hopefully it's good enough. Anyway, let's jump right in. Sydney's up first, and he's rather easy, though I forgot to heal up before entering, which is funny, and makes it a bit more challenging, so why not, right? Sydney leads off with Mightyena, so intimidates on the board, but I mitigate it with Bulk Up, taking a Sand Attack on turn 1. Shocking, the AI is already trying to cheese me out of the game. Regardless, I land Earthquake to KO Mightyena, Solar Beam on Groudon, and Flamethrower on Cacturn to KO, leading to Shiftry. and somehow I managed to miss Flamethrower 3 times in a row off of a single sand attack, and that's before he starts going for double team. Seriously, why is my luck so goddamn awful? Eventually, I managed to land Earthquake, and it does one shot, so at least I'm relieved of that, leaving just Absol, who goes down to a single Earthquake after I snap out of Confusion. He actually hit Swagger twice on me, so I'm sure that's why Earthquake managed to one-shot Shiftry despite the resistance, and then, yeah, that's how I got confused. But, jeez, that was frustrating. Phoebe, on the other hand, is much less irritating. I simply go for Bulk Up on turn 1 while Dusclops uses Protect, and get off the free boost before going for 5 Earthquakes, taking out Dusclops, Dusclops number 2, Bayonet, Sableye, and Bayonet number 2, winning in quick fashion. Really appreciate the easy victory after that last stressed fest. Glacia is actually decently easy as well. Thanks to the combo of Solar Beam and Flamethrower, I've got super effective attacks for her whole team. Solar Beam one-shots her lead Celio, Flamethrower takes out Glalie, then I do the same on Celio and Glalie number 2, leaving just Walrein. Solar Beam isn't a one-shot here though, barely surviving and hitting Ice Beam for major damage, healing with a Citrus Berry afterwards, but it's not enough to prevent a full restore, so we do the dance for a few turns, I burn through a second full restore, eventually KOing with a Solar Beam to end the fight. Alright, well, the ace should at least give some struggle, so at least that fight was more fair. Last but not least of the 4 is Drake, and I'm replacing Flamethrower with Facade here. I need a physical attack that can hit Levitate users and flying types, and this is my best bet. Again, whoops about return. Lead here is Shelgon, and this thing is always a cinch to take down. I think it's hard-coded to always lead with Protect, since I've never seen it do anything else, letting me set up 6 bulk ups through a Protect, Rock Tomb that misses, second Rock Tomb that misses, Dragon Claw, and a third Rock Tomb that happens to crit. Guess it had to make up for the lack of damage somewhere, finally going down to a critical Earthquake. That's +6 as well, as Kingdra comes in second. It wastes its only turn by using Dragon Dance after outspeeding, getting KO'd by Earthquake as Altaria comes in and does the same, going down to Facade instead. Fourth out is Flygon, outspeeding and hitting a sun-boosted Flamethrower. Good on you for using the weather to your advantage, but it still goes down to Facade, leaving just Salamence after I get some Citrus Berry recovery. A Flamethrower comes from this pseudo-legendary, burning Groudon in the process, so I might actually be in a better position with Facade than I would have been with Return, as this doubles Facade's power and makes it a practically guaranteed one-shot no matter what, ending the battle. All that's left is the champion, so I replace Facade with Shockwave for his Gyarados, and we're off to the races. He leads Wailord, so I'm going straight for Solar Beam. I know that if I don't, Rain Dance is getting set up, and I'm not getting this one-turn Solar Beam for the rest of the match. And if it's not, it's Water Spout, and I'm making sure that Water Spout isn't hitting me for the full 150 power. Thankfully, it is Rain Dance, so he sets it up after I get the Solar Beam off, and I use the full restore turn of his to use a single bulk up, KOing next turn with an Earthquake before he has the chance to use Water Spout. Second is Tentacruel, getting taken down by a super effective Earthquake, with Whiscash coming out third. I know this thing is pretty weak, the only good move it has is Surf, so I go for a second bulk up, seeing an Amnesia and telling me I'm in the clear, so I Earthquake it, Milotic, and Ludicolo all for one-shots as Gyarados comes in last. And with that, I just have to click Shockwave and my brain is dumb, I click Solar Beam. Thankfully, he only goes for 2 Dragon Dances while that charges and attacks, but then Surf does more than half damage on the turn I click Shockwave to secure the victory. If he had gone for an attack during any of that portion, I would have lost because I clicked the wrong move. I told you I'm a dumbass, but it takes an idiot to lose. With that though, I've become the champion with a time of 9 hours and 44 minutes. Is this faster or slower than Kyogre? Well, that's for you to find out. Once again, if you haven't checked out the Beast Coast Pokemon channel and watched the Kyogre video, then make sure you do, since this video isn't complete without that one. With that said, thank you for watching everybody, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching everybody. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check out this other one on screen, you'll probably enjoy it too. And if you really enjoyed the content and want to help support the creation of it, you can head over to my Patreon page and help support for as little as $1 per month. Speaking of which, shoutouts to my $5 and above patrons, Anna Keenum, Marshmallow, Aaron Rhinesmith, Cryptic Gamer, Hein Flo, Jacob Johnson, Casper Kirkpatrick, Owen Maloney, Leon Matalg, Zeno, Zachary Keever, Scotty, Arantula, Andy, Joshua Johnson, and Justin Dimmenstein. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next time.